LeGarrette Blount, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it?
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. This is White on the screen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Patriots add on to their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take a knee here. So per the new rules in 2016, this will be brought out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And this would complete to Will Fuller. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Edelman set to return. And he's got room. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. So the Patriots coming out now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight end.
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. LeGarrette Blount with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
This is the running back, Blue. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. With your 6th-round pick, not many expect them to jump right in and contribute, but he's done a pretty nice job.
As a 6th-round pick, you'll come in and just work harder. That's part of what goes into it because you want to prove you should have been picked higher. But we've seen 6th-round picks come in and play very well in this league. He will have the same opportunity.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man complete. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 40 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. Caught left side, Hopkins. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
Now Osweiler, strong grabs it over the middle. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now it's Osweiler. Going to throw deep for the end zone. They were trying to get the connection with the former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. That'll bring up second down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
2nd and 10 now. Osweiler. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And some room to roam now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Patriots haven't had the same success as last week through the air. The Texans' defense obviously has something to do with that and should be credited. All right, let's roll those highlights. 3rd down from inside the 20. Osweiler's got to rush the throw, and it's intercepted. McCourty's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense now with the shot after the interception. Blunt's going to look for space, and this run goes for a touchdown. They strike first in the half. We go to the 2nd quarter. Osweiler's throw under pressure leads to the turnover. Ryan's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense now with the shot after the pick. White's able to make the catch in traffic, and he's going to go 19 yards for the score. That puts them on top by 14. Now midway through the 2nd. Blunt's going to look for a gap, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. Patriots go up by 21. So that's it for us. We'll go back now under the lights for the second half of this Thursday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Danny Amendola on the return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, Most of the time, that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for New England. 47 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal a second. That would have been fun to watch.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Chris Hogan, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And let's shift now to talking about the Patriots defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have. Now can they carry that over?
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To throw is Osweiler. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And a first carry here for Jonathan Grimes. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zone. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll try and run again with Blue. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They come out here in the eye. Here's Blue. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing, so they'll go for it on 4th down. They run for it. Here's Blue. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Again, here's Blunt. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 1. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here's Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Throwing, Osweiler. Fuller brings it in over the middle. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Offside, defense. A penalty is declined.
You can't get past me. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Let's go. Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So after being silenced a week ago, he's not being silenced here this one, and you knew a guy like him wouldn't be held down for 2 straight weeks.
Feels like they just decided to game plan early to get him involved and get him off the schneid, because you don't want a week like last week to linger. Just get the ball to him early and let him turn in a big-time performance, and that's exactly what he's doing.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Tight end right. Tight end right. We got 3. Blue 90.
Throwing again, Osweiler. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Osweiler on first down. And not able to get it that time. He hit on 6 straight passes. Not there, second down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Osweiler. It's complete to Fuller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, Osweiler drops it to Blue, complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
To throw again is Osweiler. That's caught at the 1. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Osweiler will throw again, and that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the 10-year bet knocks it through the goalpost, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They'll run again with Blount. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Patriots, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Houston, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.